Yeah, this video is pretty much going to be for the brothers who keep asking us about when I say us, meaning Greatmillstone, about what happened on 9/11 and
2001.
Yeah, 9/11/2001, which is commonly known as 9/11. And we're here at the site where it actually happened when you had the police, the Bridgeport police. By the way, we're in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And this used to be, pan over here, this used to be our school. Okay, the House of David. And as you can see, it's now African hair braiding place. Victoria. You see the sign, African hair braiding. And what's ironic about it is, when we had the school, when we had students coming in, after a while, for a good long while, we didn't allow women to come in there, right? I don't know if I know Apostle Ahrayamlab, you remember that. There was no women allowed in the classes, and now it's it's a hair braiding place. But pretty much, walk over here. Pretty much what happened was 9/11. Towards I remember the day as starting out as a normal. It was like a normal day, and it was pretty much a normal day. And I was at that time I was working as a person that delivers checks. I was working out of my car for a messenger service, and I noticed each office I went to deliver their check, they were all glued to the television. I was like, what the hell is going on? And that's when this one office I went to, I was watching the TV right along with the people that was in the office. That's when I found out that those alleged planes had hit the building, which that's a whole nother story. All right. And that's when I was like, wow, man, look at this shit, Because you got to remember, for 10 years, we were teaching that America's going to be destroyed before the year 2000. So when it didn't happen after the year 2000, we were like a little bummed out about it. And then when we saw 9/11, we were like, this is it, man. This place is done. This place is finished. And I believe it was on a Tuesday. Now, normally at Tuesday, we have classes right here. So we decided to us, it was just, business as usual. So we came to the school, and some of the brothers, which they turned out to be, those same brothers, they got pretty much kicked out. But they used to work for UPS. I think it was UPS or FedEx. So they had trucks that the trucks that they used to work out of, they brought it to the school. And that's pretty much what started it. I think there's a lot more to it, but anyway, those trucks, right. Pan over there, that's where the trucks was parked.
Where the what is that? Gold and white car?
Yeah.
With the for sale sign on it?
Right. And brother would come to the school and park his truck over there. So a couple of trucks would park over there. So I don't know if the neighborhood called the cops or whatever. Next thing we know, a cop comes out to our school and say,
we want to search the van.
Yeah, they need to search the van. We got reports you might have a bomb in there or some shit like that. So I was in the school. As a matter of fact, we had this part of the school here, and we had the other part over there. Both parts. That was like our office over here. All right, the room down there. And you know, I was in there on the computer. We had our computers in there and, you know, whatnot. So I heard the commotion, so I came outside, and that's when I found out that the cops, they wanted to search the brother's vans. And the brother was like, "Why you want to search my van for? You know, why you want to search my van for? You know?" And then I don't remember all the particulars, but next thing I know that, you know, a bunch of cops came down, man, and
well, that's when we was into the law too, and because I told the cop they can't search the van without a you know, without a warrant, you know, pursuant to the 4th Amendment.
right.
And that's when they started acting, you know, crazy and shit.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, man, you see, like right about here, it was nothing but cops, man. All around there was cops.
All in the street.
Yeah, all in the street.
These streets here, all this was blocked off.
Yeah. All the houses were filled. The houses that you see here, they were filled with people, man. You know, people are looking at us. And like we told you in other videos, 8 of us got arrested. I was the first to get arrested. You know, they put me in the back seat, police car. And it's funny how I got arrested, because I just came outside when I saw it was bullshit. I said, "Man, I'm going back to the school." So the cop said, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm going back to the school." "Okay, buddy, that's it. You're under arrest." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
You know?
They had dogs out here.
Oh yeah, bomb sniffing dogs and all of that.
They had the paddy wagon.
And we didn't really find out what we were charged with until we got to the court, and it was basically terrorism. You know, it was some trumped up charge. They, you know, they put us on the media. They didn't show us per se.
They put our names out there.
But they put our names out there. They didn't show our faces. And the school, if we pan back on the school used to have a sign right about here.
Yep.
All right.
Right across where you see the air conditioning.
Yeah. And that sign was first it was in English, but then after a while we got so fed up of the people of Bridgeport, man, because they didn't take this truth seriously. So we put a sign on the window of the school closed to the general public, and then the sign that was over the school, we put it in ancient Hebrew. And basically, I believe it said the House of David in ancient Hebrew.
Bayaf Dawada.
Bayaf Dawada in ancient Hebrew. And the media, they kept, every time they would show the school, you know, they would show that sign, like as if it's supposed to be Arabic.
Yeah, they said it was Arabic.
Yeah, but if anybody knew Hebrew, they would know that wasn't Hebrew. I mean, I'm sorry, that wasn't Arabic, that was Hebrew.
Yep.
You know, it was an Assyrian script. Okay. So, you know, that's just the tricks of the devil. You know, that's how they get down.
Yep.
And you know, pretty much that's it. I mean, they charge us what they charge us. When we went to court, that's where the real drama began. You know, they had us chained up and...
Yeah, because we refused to give them our names.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, we was into the law, so, you know, certain things that they were doing was unlawful, so we said, man, we ain't giving you our names. So then they put $100,000 bonds on each one of us, and then they chained us wrists to ankles, and the chain going straight down. Yeah,
and then we were in the court, brought before the judge. We didn't know what our future was going to be at that time. They could have charged us. We could have did some serious time, all 8 of us, over some nonsense. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the so-called Jew woman came in the court and started fighting for us, man.
Yeah.
You know, that was the Lord. The Lord put the spirit on that so-called Jew woman, and she came in there and
they have the right. They have the right to.
These men have the right.
Yeah.
They all have jobs, and and they're up. They're not criminals, and they don't have no records, which all worked in our favor. We had no records, you know. So after a while, the judge had to consider it, and what the judge did was lower our bond, lower our bail, which at that time was $100,000. Each of us had a separate bail of $100,000. Okay, so they lowered the bond. I think they lowered it to what? $1,000
or some thousand.
Yeah, 1,000, and each of us had to pay 100. You know how the customary 10%. And you get out, you know?
Yeah, because it was all bullshit.
And they knew that. But you know, like we always tell you, brothers, this is what you suffer when you're a man of the Lord, Yahawashi. You're going to be demonized. Okay, because after all, we're teaching that America is going to be destroyed. You think the so-called white man wants to hear that? You think he wants to hear that his kingdom is going to go down and it's going to be destroyed? You don't want to hear that, man. But that's the truth, according to the scriptures. You know, the Apostle John saw on the island of Patmos, he saw the destruction of America, the total destruction of this place. All right? So, you know, which to this day, we are very sure of what we teach, and that's what we're teaching back then. And there was we didn't veer to the right or left. There was no selling out. We were coming like a freight train, man. Right? And, you know, that's what happened on 9/11. And by the way, that very day, 9/11, it was like a beautiful day. It started out as a beautiful day. There was not a cloud in the sky. As far as Connecticut / New York is concerned, because I was working in New York and I had to drive back to Connecticut, right? And I don't remember a cloud in the sky. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, what transpired, and the rest is history. So, you know, I just wanted to tell the story. You know, I'm not the most eloquent storyteller. You know, I don't have the most wonderful memory. But the point is that...
The facts.
Yeah, just like the show Dragnet, just the facts, ma'am, or just the facts, man, just the facts, sir.
That's it.
That is the fact, all right? And not too long after 9/11, Apostle Elder gave the order to close the school, which we had decided the school.
Yep.
And since then, it's been what? It's been what you see here, African hair braiding place.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of history here. As a matter of fact, let's go over here. We used to park our cars right here, right here on the side.
Sidewalk, yep.
Yeah. We used to park our cars right here when we had those good fella cookouts, and not even the cops used to mess with us, man.
Yep.
You know, because the spirit. And by the way, when the cops roll on the school, you know they wouldn't cross the threshold.
They didn't go inside the school.
They never went inside the school. It's like an angel was there. You ain't going in that school. Yep. They wanted to. And there was more than eight of us. There was a bunch of students in there, but they grabbed 8 of us.
Yep.
Okay, and 8, and I do remember that time that I when I heard the number was 8, I was like, yeah, the Lord gonna have mercy on us, because back we were into numbers. 8 is glory, and 4 is mercy, and you know, stuff like that.
Yep.
But
and all these houses right here, they were full of all different kind of people. Everybody was out there. You know, they were pretty much looking at us. You know, I mean, there was wall-to-wall people all throughout here, all over here. You know.
Yeah, but we didn't give a shit. You know.
They didn't like us anyway.
Plus, we're kind of cursing the cops out. There was one female cop. She started crying when they had me locked up in the car. She said, "Why are you saying this?" Because I kept saying America's gonna be destroyed. I was defiant. All right, I wasn't like, oh my goodness. I actually kind of, in a way, I actually kind of enjoyed it. If brothers remember, you know, because I knew it was coming. You know, the word prophet means the prophets were called seers. A seer is a visionary. You see what's coming before it comes, man. If you believe in the scriptures, the Heavenly Father, Yahawashi, give you that spirit, and you're able to see, you know. And we saw it coming. I used to tell these brothers, man, in the school, I used to tell them years ago, the time is coming when these doors are going to be shut, man. I used to tell the brothers that in the class, you know. So, you know, and that's pretty much it, basically. And, you know, I'm going to wrap it up, but that's the story, all right? So, I don't know if you got anything to say.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a small example of things that are coming. Yeah. You know, when these devils roll this time, you know, you at least have some example. You have examples in the scriptures of the great men back then, and you have examples now of things that happen and are going to happen. Mm-hmm. You know, so these are all just to build up your faith.
That's it. That's pretty much why I'm doing this. Because a few brothers asked me what transpired on 9/11, so that's pretty much it. And what's coming is going to be worse than 9/11. So you brothers got to get prepared, man. You know, they already got you labeled as a terrorist, an enemy combatant, whatever the titles that they have. The legislation, we've gone into that too, that they're passing to try to silence the men of the Lord from bringing out this truth, just like they did back in the times of, you know, the Roman times, you know. Hey, so with that, this is Greatmillstone GMS short docs, and I'll, you know, see you in the next short documentary. For now, I say shalom.